For the fourth race of Season 4 in the IORA Cup Series, Tornado Alley is back in action. You'll see the number 24 machine flipping at the start-finish line. And tonight, for this Miata gang-designed Ford Mustang, it's a special event because this is the River Page is So Cool and Awesome 150. 100 laps here in Kansas, the intermediate circuit, mile-and-a-half track, sponsored by River Page. And you might have noticed it's one of the most unique names we've seen in all of this series history. Keep an eye out for the drivers here tonight. They all know what's at stake, winning a prestigious race on the calendar. Right now, Chase Schaefer finds himself with a pole position by 61 thousandths of a second. He's going to spin into the grass as well, with John Smith now second in qualifying charts, C.D. Mangrum up to third, and Henry Kaloff rounding off your top five. That's the way they are so far. Qualifying is not over, but there's still times being taken, not many. James Thurston just put it up into sixth. Kenny Reel is up to ninth, and Jackson Carr is now down to the 14th. Those are the most recent drivers who have gotten onto the circuit and taken their time lapse. Looks like the drivers who were registered, 20 have taken the time, going back to Daniel Mosteller, who will be starting in the back of the field, qualifying in reverse. TJ Hanley now going to take a time. He'll put himself up into position at number 15, only waiting now on Joseph Armstrong and Sean Rowe, though it looks like it's going to be Armstrong with no official time lap. The Interstate Batteries, number 22, will not have an officially set lap, so it looks like he's going to stay in the back of the field until now, up into fourth, getting that lap in at the final stretch. And now Armstrong finds himself just outside of your top three. Podium places set in qualifying. Sean Rowe not set to go out for a lap here, so qualifying is already almost entirely concluded. Great to have you all here live on FTN after a fantastic night in the FORL Cup Series, rounding out their regular season. The series here in the IORA Cup Series, that is, they're just getting started. 4 races into a 15-race campaign, and it's a full season championship, so every race matters. I'll be leading you through all the action here tonight. I'm David Kreutz, leading you through his commentary, and production is going to be controlled by me. Triple header here tonight on FTN. River Page is going to be broadcasting the Highline Racing League as they're going to be heading over to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's also going to be the NASCAR Road to Pro qualifying series with their finale tonight. Keep an eye out for that. Both the broadcasts will automatically redirect you to Road to Pro when they're concluded. Highline Racing League and IORA as well. Checkered flag will fly here in qualifying, and the field is set to go at it. We've got ourselves 23 drivers registered. 22 chose to take a time, and we know who's going to be starting up in front and who's going to have to do a bit more work if they want a chance to come home with the win. Without further ado, this will be your starting grid for the River Page is So Cool and Awesome 150, and the man at the top of the board, it is going to be that number 99, Chase Schaefer, pole position, as he's going to find himself first just ahead of John Smith there in second. 1-2 right there with a Mustang on the pole, and the PBR Chevy just outside. Third place going to be occupied then by C.D. Mangrum, and it will be the man who rounds out the podium with Joseph Armstrong, position number 4 in that number 22. From there on out, 5th place going to be held by Henry Kaloff, and the man of the hour, number 24, River Page, is there in 6th. So it's going to be the big man himself rounding out row number 3, and the 4th row then going to be held with James Thurston and former league owner, league founder Alex Anderson returning to competition. Number 67 finds himself within the top 10. Not a bad effort to get the season rolling. Chad Thornquist was in the 67 last week at Phoenix. Now Anderson back with his iconic number. Rounding out the top 10, you'll then see TJ Hanley, position number 9, and Hanley finds himself inside of row 5, with the outside being occupied by Michael Cormetis in that number 25 machine. 11th then going to be held by Kenny Reel in his number 11 in PSN's ISM machine, Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, with Vincent Guecci making up that big dozen, 12th on the order. From there on out, 13th going to be held by Corey Lyles in number 56. Braxton Whitaker then going to be starting in the 14th spot, and the number 51 machine is just within the top 15, which is rounded out by Nathan Paluada. 16th will be occupied by Jackson Carr, 83 machine back of the field. He's known for good qualifying runs. Didn't have all too much pace though heading into the racing. Will Shack going to be 17th, and it's going to be Michael Deitch then position number 18, with 19th being held by Alexander Balderas, and that that number 95. Sean Conklin will round out the top 20, and 21st is going to be Cash Cope in that number 1. Daniel Mosteller, your 2-time series champion, he's already going to win on the season, looking to match Sean Conklin with 2. He needs to get 1 more, but he'll be starting at the back of the field, 22nd, with 23rd and last being held by the number 99, the other 99, Sean Rowe, as he'll be 23rd without taking a time. That rounds out your starting grid here from Kansas, and it's time to get on the way. It's going to be down low, Chase Schaefer, number 99 machine. Up top, John Smith and that number 48. 2 drivers looking for their first win of the season, and they're going to come down the green flag side by side. We're green from Tornado Alley. The action has come to Kansas, and we're on the move for race 4 of the season. And the caution is flown. We're back under yellow as soon as we leave the pacing. Issues in the back of the field. Yellow flag will fall. Looks like Cash Cope involved, number 1 machine, first start this season. Let's get an instant replay, find out what caused this. It's going to be Cash Cope involved. Looks like guys like Braxton Wigger, Sean Rowe on back might have been caught up in it too. Taking that instant replay to find out just what happened, and it's going to show you all that we didn't see on the initial start. Joe Armstrong goes low. No, it's going to be Kenny Reel and Braxton Wigger. You see them shoot up to the top side of the track. Michael Deitch gets involved, goes spinning, and the yellow flag is brought out immediately. So that's the cause of the caution. An early incident between Whittaker and, it looks like from there on out, guys like Michael Deitch and Kenny Reel. Yellow flag will fall immediately. Now 1 faster pair in this series per race. So there is still 1 extra chance for these drivers, even though they were involved in that wreck. But either way, bad start. Chase Schaefer got the start he needed, leads 2 laps in of 100. Not the biggest race here in Kansas. It is 150 miles, but overall, laps here are quick. About 30 seconds each and every lap, and 100 laps overall if there are no longer yellow flags or fewer yellow flags along the way. It's going to be that number 99 machine hoping to bring out the pace and get it done in the longer runs in terms of strategy. Caution is still out on the track here. It's going to be Schaefer, Smith, River Page up to 3rd, and then 4th is going to be held by C.D. Mangrum. Mangrum looked to have some pace in the second race of the season after a big night at Daytona. He was out there at Auto Club fighting for the top 10, but wasn't able to get it done at Phoenix. Did not look to have that pace, and we were wondering if it was a flash in the pan, maybe not going to be anything consistent, but now for C.D. Mangrum starting up in front, fighting inside the podium. That's his end goal, and he's starting off pretty good. 3 laps into 100 is still far from the time you can really tell who's got it and who doesn't, but if CD is going to be up there, it's great to start in a good position. Down the American Ethanol back straightaway, he's going to be there with Alex Anderson blinking slightly. The Alfa Romeo number 67 going to have some troubles with connection, but gets back on his way. Looks like he'll be good to go and keep himself right behind the rest of the top 5. Henry Kaloff and Michael Cormetis are now going to be 6th and 7th, with James Thurston holding his own in 8th, and James Thurston locking up the FORL regular season championship last night at Richmond. Mathematically, nobody else was eligible because not only James Thurston didn't show up, but Ross Corlett didn't either. So for the top 2 in points last week, both drivers not racing, and it looks like Thurston's focused his efforts on the week. As one driver's going to spin, that's Will Shack. Shack's going to go around, and some trouble under yellow for Will Shack in his Ford Mustang. Spinning it, getting back on the move. Luckily, nobody else gets involved, but the yellow flag doesn't fly for the spin that we just saw. Will Shack under yellow sees River Page go around too. Another incident with River Page, and it looks like the 24 machine is in trouble. He's going to now spin it into the grass, gets on his way again, and 2 spins under caution. That's more than we've had under green. Yellow flag is out, 4 laps into 100, and we are set to go back with Chase Schaefer leading 5 in of the triple digits. Page moves up as the pace car once again. Looks like he'll be slotting himself right there with Chase Schaefer. John Smith is going to head back into 3rd. Just like that, time to get at it. First yellow flag, first lap. We've had a few of those already this season. Mainly, you remember at Daytona, a huge incident to start off the race and the season. And it looks like it's going to be another incident to start off the action here tonight in Kansas. So, Page Down low, he's already gotten himself to the inside rows lead. Monster Designs versus Miata Gang Designs. They'll be head-to-head when they come through this time around. iRacing official pace car going to drop in, and there we have it. Mustang is down low, but there's another Ford up there. Make it two. Schaefer and Page will lead him down to the green flag as the Geico restart zone gives them all the green flag, and we're back on our way. As the field comes by for their full first green lap, TJ Hanley going to spin, but nobody else is going to be involved, so we stay green all the same. Schaefer, Page, John Smith, 1, 2, 3 as it stands, 6 laps out of 100, and they're going to keep it up there so far without any issue at the head of the field. Looks like a bit of smoke as they pass by the site of the wreck just a lap ago. Kenny Real already making moves to fight within the top 15 realm. Cash Cope and Alexander Balderas are going to be high and low. Number 1 machine up top, Balderas and the McDonald Chevrolet on the bottom. Already clearly some side-by-side racing getting developed here, and Chase Schaefer still fighting to get that lead for Page. Goes down low once again. Bottom side going to be his once more, and it looks like as they come through 7 of 100, it's going to be Chase Schaefer getting out to the clear lead, and James Thurston is there too. Thurston now going to be in the back bumper of River Page. You'll see a colorful top 3 on the header of your screen. It looks like now it's going to be Thurston making his way into the mix at the same time. River Page in the middle of the front stretch, goes down to the apron entirely. That's something you can do here in Kansas almost better than any other track. You can work that apron down low. It might be a flat surface, but because of the natural radius of the curve that it's on, which is the bank front straightaway, you can still use it with high speeds and cut a bit of distance while you're at it. Bit of beating and banging though, you'll see it looks like it's going to be Alexander Anderson. Take a look at that. Anderson nearly got himself in trouble. Still going though as he beats and bangs. Corey Lyles is now at it as well, and trouble might be brewing as the drivers are really leaning on each other to start off this race. Schaefer, as it comes down to lap number 9, we'd like to thank our official graphic design partner on the channel, Tangle Paints. Lap 9 always provided to you by Tangle Paints, the official graphic design shop of FTN. For prices you can't beat and the highest quality sim racing paint schemes and deliveries, check out Tangle Paints at the Twitter handle. It's as simple as it gets, right? Tangle Paints. No spaces. That is it. Total over to the entire team creating high quality paint scheme material for iRacing, and you can represent your sim racing identity the best it can get. Tango Paints brings you lap 9 here in FTN, and we'll bring it back after a brief promotional break, courtesy of our friends at Tango Paints. And coming back now, River Page finds himself leading his namesake race. 24 machine gets it over Chase Schaefer. James Thurston now going to be passed by Jackson Carr, and it looks like Carr is going to make that very low qualifying run. Not matter all too much. He's up there inside the podium already and finds himself in third with James Thurston up on the high side. Fifth is going to be occupied by John Smith. Now Alex Anderson goes for it, and you saw Anderson earlier fighting side by side with John Smith. They were banging doors a few times over, and we'll see whether or not they do that once again. Anderson drops down low. John Smith going to be right up high, side by side, making it a baker's dozen next time around. 12 laps in, and Rivers got the lead. Chase Schaefer's now going to be about a tenth of a second or two behind. 2/10 in fact, and it'll be Jackson Carr then in third. Fourth is going to be James Thurston, and now top 5 battle continues as Jackson Carr tries to change that fact and put himself inside the podium for the first time this season. Jackson Carr still chasing victory here in the IORA Cup Series, and tonight he might just have the pace. Unexpected, the Red Bull 83 has come out of nowhere to start this race off, and now is fighting to get inside the podium. while there, the question would be whether or not he'd make it inside the top 10, let alone the top 5, and now top 3 looks like it could happen. John Smith right there going to beat off the wall. It's going to be American Ethanol's back straightaway that gets that number 48. He taps the green, gets it going once again, and he's using that high side to defend on the groove that he has, and the ground that he has too. Track position can be defended on the high side as much as the low. He's going to use all the banking to get more out of the corner, then cut down the apron, and that's been the strategy for Jackson Carr, trying to make some big moves here, while John Smith does the same with the high side in mind. Low side, high side, they all usually come together by the front or back straightaway. You really want to get the most out of the corner, so you let the car drift as much as it needs to. Don't overdo it, and don't try to constrict it. Momentum is natural and usually free-flowing, and Sean Conklin, he has been the king of finding momentum no matter where he races. The Ryco Performance, number 54, he finds himself there now in the 8th spot. He's going to be trying to go 3 wide with Alex Anderson and Michael Cornetis. They're shifting side by side, but it looks like no dice that time through. And how about we ride on board with a 54 machine, your defending winner in Sean Conklin. And looking now on board with Sean Conklin, who's climbing up through the field to get into the battle for the win. He's already got himself to win the season, Phoenix last week, and your season opener at Daytona. Now, Sean has told us he's not expecting to be a full-time competitor on the championship tour, but so far, Sean Conklin and Daniel Mosteller have been the class of the field. Mosteller, though, finds himself in 20th right now, and it's going to be Sean Conklin who looks to be in the best spot of the 2 current championship rivals. And as they stand, 31.705, it's going to be the lap time for the 54 to Sean Conklin. His best is a 31.254, so about a half a second of tire fall off to this point for Conklin, who has one of the fastest laps of the session so far. Fastest of which does go to Jackson Carr, though. He has the quickest on the day to this point, but doesn't have that lead as River Page still continues to defend it. Now it's going to be Chase Schaefer and James Thurston going side by side for second, and Thurston now seeing some pressure from Chase Schaefer again. Chase drops down to the bottom side, is going to cut off that apron, come back up, and he's going to take him through 1 and 2 with only one driver ahead, that being River Page. And River Page, knowing that this is a big race for him to win, the River Page is so cool and awesome 150. The sponsors pay the bills here at IORA, and that's the name that was chosen by the Miata Gang Designs crew as they bring their top driver, River Page, up to the high side of the track as he continues to defend for the race lead. Chase Schaefer then going to be second as they go side by side. It might not be for long. Schaefer's got a minor edge at the stripe. Looks like it's going to stay that way. 18 laps in of 100, make it 19, and they're side by side. Schaefer drops it low. Now River Page goes up top. James Thurston is going to be right behind him too. Crossover move. James Thurston now going to see River go down, and it might be Thurston following. Now he's got the chance to play off his own momentum as the third place driver and let these top 2 battle and find that hole. Try to sneak your way into the picture and get all the way out. Top 3 as it stands is Page and then Chase Schaefer with James Thurston third and Jackson Carr still in the picture, then in 4th. But for the last time we checked on Sean Conklin, he jumped up from 8th up to 5th. Already inside the top 5 for Conklin, who's starting to drive even further up to the front of the field, and he is looking to make that his habit. Not getting the best running qualifying, figuring out the track as the day goes on, and eventually becoming one of the big quickest drivers as the race continues, becoming a juggernaut no matter what track we go at. Now, Daytona, anyone had a chance. It was a 4-wide finish at the line, so the fact that Sean Conklin won wasn't all too unexpected in the sense that, yes, he had an opportunity to do so. He was a competent driver all night long. Why couldn't he have done it? But Phoenix certainly showing that he is no slouch this season, able to run away on pace, leading over 80 laps on the day. And while he has not led any to this point, he knows what he's capable of and what he can bring to a team. And right now for Ryco Performance, having a gem on their hands, bringing him into their driver development program, and he has been especially quick these past few months. Last time we were out here in the IORA Cup Series last season, Sean Conklin was about a 4,500 iRating driver However, now he has a 7,100 I rating, and that's the highest of anyone in this field. We have 3 drivers with a 6,000 plus I rating, Daniel Mosteller and your leading man of James Thurston both having over 6,000, but Conklin is the only driver here with above 7,000. Doesn't mean much right now though, because your leading man is going to be James Thurston, switching hands to River Page. Page is a 5,011, nearly 5K flat. Chase Schaefer is a 4,182, and it's Jackson Carr with a 3,381. Driver licenses and ratings don't matter all too much in league action. It's just about being a competitive driver, putting yourself in the right scenario. And right now for River Page, he gets himself back up in front. Thurston had it for a brief moment, but now struggling to hold on to second as Chase Schaefer flies right by and puts himself back in the second spots. And all of a sudden, Chase Schaefer going to find himself second again. Top 4 continue to pull away. Looking further on back, second pack is growing. Kenny Reel going to be side by side with Alex Anderson. Anderson up top, Reel down low. And for Kenny Reel, having a great night at Richmond last night. And Wednesday night, indeed, the FORL Cup Series, their regular season finale. Unfortunately for Kenny Reel, circumstances regarding the season did not go his way in the FORL Cup Tour. Had himself suspended for 1 week after an incident under yellow, and that cost him almost all of his chances to come home as a potential championship suitor. Finishing outside of the top 15 in points was the make-or-break race. And Richmond, while we saw drivers like Justin Mons and Kenny Reel giving it all that they had, it was eventually a repeat winner, getting it done yet again, and it allowed for only Hunter Bogdan to squeeze through and find himself back in the championship picture 2 seasons in a row. But for Kenny Reel right now, he knows he's still got a chance to fight up in front of the points table here. 7th place, very good run so far. He's got Michael Cormettis ahead of him, Sean Conklin in 5th, Jackson Carr in 4th, and for Carr, he's the only driver who does not look to be going for a full-time campaign who's up this far ahead. Page, Schaefer, Thurston, all the like. They're definitely fighting for an overall crown and a title. Thurston is your defending champion coming into this season. River Page is, of course, not your defending champion. That's James Thurston, but he's one of those drivers who put in a top 5 points run last season inside the IORA playoff system, the Quantum Quest for the Cup, and he was there looking for the championship until the very final few races. Schaefer knows what it's like to be in an IORA championship hunt. He's been fighting ever since season 2, and now tonight puts himself back up in front to try to capitalize on the pace he's had all season long. Just has not been able to execute just yet. Execution has been the big fault of this team so far, just not getting into victory lane, not putting it all together at the end. A 100% race is what Chase Schaefer needs, and while these are only 100 laps, it's not a long distance, shorter events than a full Cup Series race, for example. He needs to execute all throughout. He's fast. He knows what it's like to have that good racecraft when it matters the most. But now for Chase Schaefer and this crew in the number 99, they just have to get it done lap after lap, execute each and every time around. Doesn't look like it's going to be hard. Doesn't seem hard on paper. But for Chase Schaefer, he knows the level of competition in this series continues to step up season after season. And now he's putting himself in the runner-up spot, chasing after your leader, River Page, with James Thurston then 3rd, Jackson Carr then 4th, and Sean Conklin there in 5th. Kenny Reel going to be in position number 6, and Michael Cormettis is then in 7th. Vincent Guenci is going to be 8th, and Ellie Alexanderson then in 9th. CD Mangrum going to be 10th, and Corey Lyles then in 11th. Bit of a pack here as well. This might be the 3rd group, as you call it. CD Mangrum going to fade back into 10th, but still holding on strong in this double-digit spot inside the top 10. There'll be Corey Lyles, Braxton Whitaker's there, but Whitaker's 6 laps down after an incident early, and you can see that number 78 machine of Nathan Palabada. He's there as well, and he's got his Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports Toyota Camry right behind Lyles, your Daytona winner from a season ago. And Lyles, who knows what it's like to get it done in the IORA Cup Series, has been on a string of better races as of recent. Had a good chance to get it done at Auto Club this time around this season, just wasn't able to get it through with Daniel Mosteller charging up to the front and staying there. But I think that if Corey Lyles can break through and have another night where he has that pace, he just needs to find himself there at the end. Might get an overtime finish to be there. Needs to put himself in the right situation and understand when that right situation is going to come around in order to absolutely play it off perfect. Lyles is speedy. He's quick indeed, but just right now he's having a bit of trouble in Kansas. A few drivers that have been up in front this season having some issues. I mean, Daniel Mosteller Mosteller is still stuck in 20th here. He's not doing good at all. This will be his worst race of the season by far. And for Mosteller coming in this race, he was fighting head-to-head with Sean Compton in the points table. Now he looks to be in a bit more trouble to maybe lose those spots. And while it's early in the season, you don't want to give away your advantage, even if you've only had a few races to build it all the way up. Chevy Camaro, number 87, 20th right now. Michael Deichstein going to be 19th with Henry Kaloff in 18th and Alexander Balderas then in 17th. Position number 16 occupied by TJ Hanley and John Smith then going to be 15th just ahead. Smith falling down from second on the grid all the way down into 15th right now. So let's check the statistics on this race and see what's going on. Overall to this point hasn't led a lap, currently 15th, 13 spots under his overall high on the day. And even though he's been on the same tire run as everyone, maybe a bit more abusive on the equipment, and that could be causing him big time troubles, because here in Kansas we were not expecting to see this much of a green flag run after early troubles. It looks like the field settling down and understanding what they have to do. Despite the first lap chaos, everyone's gotten a bit more regulated and will understand what needs to be done to keep it under green, and that's going to be not to the benefit of John Smith and his strategy, trying to run for quicker laps. Overall, he's not going to be looking at that long run pace. He's going to be sacrificing it to be quicker on the short runs, which have not come as of recent. 32.891 that time by, much closer to the speeds of someone like, how about Daniel Mosteller, than the driver right next to him. TJ Hanley now trying to go for the pass, and TJ will be able to do so at the stripe, putting himself up in a 15th for a brief moment, as it will be John Smith shot down one more spot. Alexander Balderas is going to be there in 16th, and Balderas having a lot of trouble so far. It looks like for this number 95 crew, just haven't been able to put it all together. The pace has not been there on the day, and for this team, they've been able to run up in front, having some top 5 performances previously shut down by incidents and losses to the car, damage and all. So even though he's been quick this season to this point, it's been another case of execution being a big deal. And the biggest issue for Alexander Balderas and this 95 team is not late race execution, it's the fundamentals of execution. That's been the biggest issue. Having some very simple incidents or mistakes early in the going can set a driver back all throughout the night, and if you're one step off your plan, it's going to compound and compound even more. The more you lose, the more it's going to become harder to catch back up. That's the way it goes in racing with a competitive field like this. You can't afford to lose that time, fade off even more, and not be able to retrace your steps back to understanding the fundamentals and when you gotta execute upon them. So Balderas is 16th, with River Page leading the way by 1 second over Chase Schaefer, Jackson Carr then 3rd, and James Thurston then in 4th. Sean Conklin's gonna be 5th with Kenny Reel then 6th, and so far it looks like the single file racing up in front is only a theme up at the head of the field. I mean, we're seeing it up in front. Race leaders doing very good so far, keeping themselves away from trouble, but it looks like right now racing is going to be a bit less common. These drivers are breaking away from everyone else, and they're running their own laps, line after line, lap after lap. Most drivers are trending up high, and it looks like that's the way it's going to stay with Corey Lyles and CD Mangrum coming out of pit road, this time through competitive pit stops, which means we have ourselves a pit cycle on the move. Official pit analytics here at FTN will show you who's coming in and who is staying out. Cash Culp just went in this. It's going to be River Page passing by, and that number 20 machine, it makes it in this time through. Down a pit road, it'll be Cash Culp going, and he makes it in this time by in his number 1 Dodge Charger. River Page going to lead the way as another driver comes in. Nathan Paloado is going to be down and in. Looks like that 78 machine is the next man up. He finds himself now fading back on pit road as Henry Kaloff goes in at the same time. Kaloff is in as well. 38 and 100. Just like that, more drivers coming through. Chase Schaefer opting to come in this time by, and Chase Schaefer is down and in. At Kansas Speedway, we're now seeing pit road heat up a bit more. James Thurston comes in at the same time, and now you see drivers slowly but surely opting to come down to pit road while they can. 39 laps in of 100, and if this is the official amount of time that a driver has, like this is the end-all be-all in terms of pit strategy, you'll see one more pit stop on the day no matter what. Pit road is busy. Thurston there, Conklin, Will Shack, John Smith, Nathan Palawada, Henry Kaloff, and then Corey Lyles there too. Some drivers leaving right now, others are still just getting in. River Page makes it in this time by. He will bring Jackson Carr and Michael Cormetis all coming in at once, giving the lead now to Kenny Reel and his number 11 Chevrolet. Kenny Reel's now going to be a race leader over Vince Iguechi. Sean Rowe then going to be in third, and with pit road so busy, some drivers cycling up to the top to get some bonus points to get the race lead, get those extra laps led. Looks like it's going to be Kenny Reel, one of which going for the bonus points tonight as opposed to going for anything else. So Reel makes it through up to the race lead. Vince Iguechi looks to dive down on in this time by Sean Rowe. Still no read on him, but the 09 is indeed down to pit road, making it in. Guechi's down, leaving TJ Hanley to go in a second, with Alexander Balderas now getting scored up into third. Daniel Mosteller not too far behind, now going to be in position number 4. Kenny Reel leads the race, 41 laps in of 100. For those tuning in for the first time tonight, this is the River Page is so cool and awesome 150. Before our pit cycle, River Page was the man leading the race tonight, and the Miata Gang's crew, they're the one who sponsored this race, and looks like now their star driver, he went down to pit road, waiting to cycle back up as Kenny Reel comes back down to pit road, this time by. Reel is through, and just like that, more drivers come in. Sean Rowe's going to be on his way out. This will give TJ Hanley the overall race lead, with Alexander Balderas fighting to get back to him. And just like that, TJ Hanley going to be leading off of some strategy calls. It's going to be that number 08 machine out in front, making it there to the race lead. He has chosen not yet to come down to pit road. That's going to be the reason that TJ's got that overall top spot, and it looks like that's the way it is going to stay. TJ Hanley out in front. Chevy Camaro leads it. Alexander Balderas now going to be occupying the second spot on the racing circuit as Kenny Reel is going to come out this time through. Time against scoring going to show you things are getting crazy here in Kansas, and the 08 machine getting a chance to lead those laps and get himself ready for the rest of the way. But Hanley, TH Designs, all out in front. Preparations are being made for the second half of this race. We're now going to see lap number 43 on the order as TJ Hanley comes down in. 08 machine to leave Alexander Balderas in the race lead. If he chose to keep it out, he'll be the man up in front in his number 95. TJ Hanley down in this time by, and drivers reporting to each other how warm their tires got over the course of that run. In particular, it looks like River Page saying his left side was down 70% of wear, and it looks like for his right side was about 86%. So that's the overall statistics from River Page. It looks like he's going to have quite a lot of wear to deal with on the run in, but now that things have gotten solved, he should be quick again, with Mosteller taking that lead from Balderas. Looks like Alexander, the number 95, with a very slow pit entry. Number 95 for McDonald's down to pit road, this time by. Alexander Balderas in this time through. Daniel Mosteller, your race leader. How's about we take a lap on board with your current man out in front as he's set to come down to pit road before the halfway point here in Kansas. And Mosteller does indeed come in this time by. Does he miss it? Yes, he does! Daniel Mosteller spins and barely misses a pit entry. Man, oh man, for Daniel Mosteller, the bad night has gone to something even worse, and Daniel Mosteller, the 213 Simware crew, missed their pit entry. And it's a heartbreaker because it looks like now he's creeping and crawling into the pit stall, and he's sitting there, doesn't know what's left of the race. And he's going to get back going, fires it up, hits the wall, and add insult to injury, Daniel Mosteller fades back big, and he hasn't even made his pit stop to this point. River Page, James Thurston, Chase Schaefer are once again all the drivers up in front. The pair, now the trio, takes the race lead again, and just like that, with Mosteller having trouble, he'll be out of the picture no matter what. Green flag flying 46 on a 47 laps in on the day. Taking a look at the leader, it's River Page with James Thurston then second, Chase Schaefer third, and fourth being held by Jackson Carr. Rounding out the top five is going to be Alexander Anderson, and it's going to be Michael Cormetis then in sixth, Vince Iguechi seventh, and Kenny Reel in 8th. Nathan Palawana is going to be 9th, with Sean Rowe rounding out your top 10 so far in the day. Sean Rowe is actually able to make a huge comeback to this point. And we haven't mentioned him all too much on the night, but this Reese is number 99, the second of the two 99s in this race. He's gotten it from dead last in the field, 23rd entrant and qualifier, all the way up into the top 10, and he's chasing down those single digits. So very good effort here for Sean Rowe to this point, getting even more solid. And it looks like now Sean Rowe is continuing to put himself up there in contention as the night goes on. So far, so good for the drivers at the head of the field. Rowe is one of which. James Thurston is your current race leader, and he's going to be side by side with River Page once more, dropping down to the bottom to the apron, but Page gets the lead all the same, and still it is going to be the 24 up in front. Chase Schaefer is going to be right there too, though, so if there is an issue for these two drivers, Schaefer waiting in the wings, hoping something gets risky. And right now, even though they're racing a bit more with calm, respectful action in mind, surely when we get down to those final laps and the final run till the end, we're going to see some risky moves being made. Till it's all over, we're going to see how long they wait to get it 110%. Michael Gourmet is going to be there, and it's going to be Cash Cope right in there too. You'll see Alexanderson is going to be in frame, and Anderson's going to be fighting with that lap machine. Cash Cope right now, one lap down. He did win down a pit road. Actually, my apologies, he did not go down a pit road. So saying he did, we're looking at another driver in Daniel Mosteller, who's still on pit road, but it's going to be Cash Cope, who has not gone down at this point. And with 50 laps on the board, halfway through with only one caution, halfway to go. And River Page is going to lead him down to that halfway marker. He's led it to this point majority of the way, and he's been good so far, hoping to keep that up until it is all over. 51 laps in of 100. Page over James Thurston, Chase Schaefer there too. Jackson Carr going to be 4th, and Alex Anderson then going to be 5th. And we can look at the closest battle on the track right now. That closest battle going to be for position number 2. And it looks like it's also going to be up there with the leaders now as Chase Schaefer fades back. Your top 2 drivers are the closest 2 drivers on the track now, and that goes to show that up in front, the fastest drivers are the ones having the best of battles. Take a look off the rear view perspective from River Page here and find out what's going on. And for Page, he's now going to get it right into the American Ethanol backstretch, hits the wall just a bit, minor tap, nothing all too major, so nothing to be worrying about. He's been able to manage that exit very well, as all of these leaders have. We saw James Thurston tap the wall a few times out of turn 4, but otherwise these guys have been the cleanest of which, getting through each and every lap. Now, taking a look at it once again, River Page, he's been mastering that exit. He gets up high, going into the corner. Here through turns 1 and 2, he tries something different, stays up top, and you'll see it's going to be a short-term loss with Thurston cutting that time up big, but when they come through the back straightaway, you can see how much of a gap River's able to pull with all that extra momentum. That is a huge advantage that comes from going on the top side just right, and you'll see as the caution flies, yellow flag is out, and this time it's going to be out for Sean Conklin. Conklin spins, second yellow flag of the day, and we have a caution. More than halfway into this one, let's find out just what happened as Conklin goes spinning to bring out the yellow flag and make it a crooked number. Let's go and find out what caused this one. Sean Conklin going to be in the middle of a 3-wide scenario with Henry Kaloff, and it looks like Kaloff actually backs off there, so no contact. Coming out the corner though, Michael Deitch and Sean, of course, they go for the same real estate, and that's what causes it. So Conklin involved, both drivers going for one space, and unfortunately that's a common practice in iRacing and all of racing as a whole. Unfortunately for Sean Conklin, gets a piece of the wall, gets the worst of the damage, and the yellow flag flies with Sean Conklin, your cause, 54 laps in of 100. That's the way they go. So far, leading the way, it's going to be River Page, James Thurston in second, Chase Schaefer then in third. Michael Deitch not happy about what happened on that incident, and it looks like he's going to be saying that with the driver communications. Daniel Mosteller saying he got a 100-second penalty for his issue, so huge loss there. And now drivers bump each other as they come into pit road, this time by for what might be, in all accounts, the money stop of the race. Drivers come down to pit road together. It's going to be the big 3 coming through this time by, and as they come down to pit road, they are the big focus. A lot of drivers stay out, but all eyes on Page, Schaefer, and James Thurston as Jackson Carr and the like stay out. out. Now you'll see half the field comes in, half the field, not so much. We only have 4 tire sets, so some drivers trying to save it in the case we need more later. One driver already on the move. That'll be Michael Cormetis. Then you're going to see Thurston beat out by Chase Schaefer. River Page going to be right there, the third of the big 3. Alex Anderson gets going, and then it will be the 78 of Nathan Paloada. John Smith right there too. Michael Deitch, Joe Armstrong, Henry Kaloff, and finally TJ Hanley. And just like that, 55 in of 100, your pit cycle under yellow going to come through with the winner off being Michael Cormetis. He got off very quickly, and that's enough for him to gain multiple spots up into 7th here, right behind Cash Coleman. He'll go a bit ahead of Cash there. Looks like Cash is going to be moving back, so is Alexander Balderas, Sean Rowe, and Mikey's still fighting to get some position here, even though we're not racing, going around the track. Pace laps in effect. This time, though, it looks like the field who did not choose to go to pit road will be going down this around, and it's going to be Jackson Carr and Vince Guecci opting to stay out on the circuit. They have not come down to pit road in this run, so it looks like they're going to be opting to keep it on the track. 2 laps to green this time by. Going to be set to go back at the green flag. 58 laps in of 100. And we're going to have ourselves about a 45-odd lap dash at the very most. One driver going to go up high there to get his lap back. That looks to be Will Shack, the 35, involved with a very early incident under yellow. First caution had him spin under yellow. Thankfully, nobody else hit him, but not his night overall. Going 1 lap down under the green flag cycle, so he'll get himself back with the leaders here and regroup for the rest of the way. That's Will Shack right now going through as he comes down to pit road yet again. He's on the lead lap, takes some extra service. And so, Jackson Carr and Vincent Guecci are set to lead him through. Kenny Reel, Sean Rowe, 3rd and 4th, the only other 2 drivers who have opted not to come down to pit road on this cycle. Looks like now the majority of the field comes through. Either they came in on the first lap as the leaders did, or those who stayed out for bonus points opted to go in later. They came in as well, so majority of the field on the exact same strategy, and that's the way they'll go 56 laps in out of 100. As the field comes through this time by, it's going to be down low. Jackson Carr, you saw him up high. He'll let Kenny Rowe go down to the bottom. He'll bring Vincent Guecci there too. Up and down. They'll be taking it for the choose rule. And it looks like that number 83, your control car, opts to go up to the top. He'll try to roll that high side to get the speed going immediately. And right behind him, Kenny Rowe going to be now on the bottom. Now, FTN having a triple header on the night. And we've got 3 great races. And this is one of them. This is, of course, the IORA Cup Series running from Kansas. But in addition, the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing series. Must watch sim racing. If you watched the Coke finale and you were excited about that action, imagine the competition in the Road to Pro Tour is on the same level as those Coke guys, because some of those drivers you're watching on FTN right now will be on the official iRacing YouTube channel come February of 2024, and they'll be racing in the Coke Series alongside the 20 who remained in the title hunt all the way. So we've got ourselves a lot to watch out for in FTN. The Highline Racing League is going to be presented by River Page. It's going to be a great show over there. Sure to watch that one when this is over. 57 laps into 100. Here we go again. Jackson Carr, Kenny Reel, 1st and 2nd with Vincent Guecci. Then in 3rd, Sean Rowe, going to be right now scored in position number 4. The iRacing official pace car drops down and in. Green flag set to fly with Reel up in front, and it's going to be right there with them. Control car, Jackson Carr leading the field through. Green flags out. 58 laps in of 100. And as they come through, so far, so good. Field's going to be able to get away from the start-finish line and come back to it in one piece. Taking a look right now, Jackson Carr, Vincent Guecci, all going to be up there at the head of the field. Michael Cormetis is going to be able to slide up to 3rd. He's bringing Chase Schaefer 2, and it looks like these new tires are coming into play a bit earlier than anticipated. Looks like they're flying by already, taking places, taking names, up, down, left, right. They're the fastest on the track no matter what. You'll see Rio side by side with Sean Rowe, side by side, double file, multiple lanes deep, and as they come through 59 laps in of 100, it's been very good to this point. How about watch on the back bumper of Chase Schaefer as he's got a hell of a battle right behind him. Taking a look right now at Cormetis. Kenny Reel right there too. James Thurston, the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports guys, they're both right behind this number 99. And Michael Cormetis trying to back up his run on the high side. Gets loose, can't get much of it. It's going to be Schaefer getting by Guecci. Close maneuver, gets it done. Very nice job there, and he's going to have himself up into the second slot. Chase Schaefer, Jackson Carr, chasing victory. Many of the viewers, many of the drivers might have not known this, but at one time, Jackson Carr and Chase Schaefer used to be teammates on the same organization, Apex Motorsports, in 2021. Three-car operation at its highest, of course, became a few more drivers as they expanded into affiliate teams like the Red Bull paint scheme that Jackson Carr has now, but it used to be Chase Schaefer, Jackson Carr racing all the time throughout. Their third teammate in the World 600 for IDK player, David Kreutz. Broadcasting right now, but these two drivers still have the pleasure of racing each other, and they're both chasing victory here in the IORA Cup Series that is much needed. They know how each other drive. They know the abilities and some of the flaws in their racing, and can use that to make a much better battle as the night goes on. Number 99 machine gets it down to the bottom side, lunges deep. James Thurston now has it on Jackson Carr. Looks like the high side is not going to be coming through good for the 83s. Take a look at this. River Page is there as well, and brings Joseph Armstrong. Armstrong with one win last season, getting it done at New Hampshire, and he came through at the Magic Mile, and now trying to bring some of that magic into Tornado Alley. Looking very good so far up at the front of the field. That driver of the number 22 now in a fourth as they come through this time by. Now could be Armstrong inside the race leading battle. All of a sudden, 63 laps in, he's in the picture, and it's a bit more to look at as the night goes on. Armstrong gonna slide up in the third for the first time today. Podium position for the 22. Jackson Carr now fades back to fourth, and taking a look at Sean Conklin. He's now in the back bumper of Thurston and wants to get by that Jackson Carr machinery at the same time. Jackson Carr might be in a bit more trouble here because James Thurston and Sean Conklin same groove, same speed. Down low, they'll take the bottom at the same time, and all of a sudden, Carr's going to lose 2 spots in one turn. It's going to be a 2-for-1, and it's a discount pass as the 54 Sean Conklin now wants to discount the effort of James Thurston and put himself up in a fourth. And there's an action-packed night here in, well, Kansas Speedway. Tornado Alley's giving us some good racing. Only 2 cautions on the day so far. One at our first lap and one just about 10 odd laps to go. Otherwise, very good racing, and that's the way it's been. IORA Cup Series coming into its form that we've been expecting for quite a while here. Great racing, high quality drivers, and they're now putting together some of their best racing all throughout not only the season, but the league's history. This is what it's all about, and River Page, he knows it too. A big night for him and the Miata Gang Designs crew. He'll be broadcasting on FTN just after this in the Highline Racing League, but before then, he's getting his racing kick in, understanding the mile-and-a-half here in Kansas before he heads off to Charlotte. The Highline Racing League is racing at America's Home for Racing for the oval configuration this season, and not the Roval. It's going to be 200 miles, and it's sure to be another great race with the Gen 4s. They have put on some fantastic action to this point in the season, and River Page now sees Chase Schaefer there on his back bumper. Schaefer getting closer and closer here, dives it a bit further into the corner to make something of it. Doesn't get it that time by though, and now has to work up the track and form up the run. 1 and 2 might be an even better chance as they run down to the apron, bottom side, number 99, and he's going to take it up to the top in the same up and down motion. It's a rhythm here at Kansas. It's a rhythm at most intermediates, so this is not a unique feature to this track. It's not track specific. It's mostly the way that every intermediate is run. You've got to understand that flow up and down the track. And you get into a rhythm like this, and drivers are not usually opting to run the high side. Sean Conklin's trying it early, but if drivers are getting into that groove where they're going on autopilot, the up and down sequential motion is the most common form of intermediate. And when I'm thinking of the intermediates, I think of that. Go high into the entry, go low to the corner, and then work your way out once again. It's a very, very simple explanation of what these guys are doing, but they're doing it a bit different. Chase Schaefer's running a bit higher through the corner and even a bit higher on the back straightaway. Sean Conklin, he's all the way up high here, trying to rip the top side and use that momentum to make up positions. It's a loss, of course, for him to make up more track position in terms of the space on the track he runs, but he'll have a lot more speed when he blasts into the straightaways and now has himself on the bottom of that track. The apron is his. It looks like now Joe Armstrong's got some trouble, and Sean Conklin, 69 laps in, putting in a very nice run. Could this be Sean Conklin's third win of the season? Now there's an outside chance he does it all over again, but Schaefer and River Page, they have been dominant so far tonight. These three drivers, Schaefer, Page, Thurston, the best of the best. And even though Sean Conklin and Joe Armstrong are spoiling the party for Thurston, it still looks like James is enough to keep it inside the top 5 in case push comes to shove and in case things get a bit more risky. Now, with Kansas 70 laps through, Page and Schaefer have the biggest enemy of the season right behind him. Sean Conklin has been very quick all season long, and this is very similar to the way he started last season in the IORA Cup Series, but for a different reason. The IORA Cup Series switched from the Gen 6s of Season 2 on the trucks for Season 3. For many of the avid viewers here on FTN, you'll know that the IORA Cup Series decided to go back to the next gens by the end of Season 3, but Conklin was a killer in those trucks. He was the fastest of the field week after week, night after night, and he's showing a bit more of that pace once again because he's going to go up to the top side here on River Page. Makes it up to the top. Sean Conklin going for it once again, gets in a second with barely any room on the track. Nice move there for the 54. Leading the way is still Schaefer, but it looks like Sean Conklin's now got a shot to get right back to him. All of a sudden, Sean Conklin going to be there in position number 2. River Page going to be then third. Chase Schaefer still's got the top spot, but it's getting even closer. Joe Armstrong hangs on to the back bumper of the podium. Sitters in 4th. Top 4 separated by half a second. Then you look back to Thurston, who's over a second back on them. How about Michael Deitch here in the 6th spot, running his video game themed number 57, which we saw racing last time around in the FORL Cup Series. Michael Deitch for Forza Motorsport, now going to be down low, fighting within the top 10, and it looks like he's going to slowly but surely commit himself down to pit road. That is going to be the move. Deitch takes Sean Rowe and Kenny Reel down and in. All drivers coming through at the same time. Just like that, pit stops once again. 73 laps in of 100. Pit road is busy, and all of a sudden we are going to see one more pit stop despite the first. It looks like it's just not enough for these drivers to make it till the very end, so they're going to opt to go down to pit road, reset for another run, and maybe we're going to see a few more drivers come through if they're competing for the race win or not. Just like that, 73 in on a 74. Pit strategy continues to change, and Jackson Carr will make it in with TJ Hanley, another bunch that comes in at the same time. TJ's going to come down and in, and he finds himself there with a 08 machine. 83 there too. Just like that, pit road going to be busy. TJ Hanley is going to be back out on the track here, so it looks like he does not go in this time by. Looked at him right behind Sean Rowe, nearly came in, chooses to stay out on the track. Just like that, pit road going to become a much more hot commodity, and it could be drivers up in front going through this time by. Vincent Guecci might be the next one up. He finds himself here in 7th and has not taken the charge down low. Does he do it this time by? That he does not, but it looks like he will have to come down to pit road very soon. He's been on an over 40-lap pit run to this point, so he has no choice but to come down to pit road sooner than later, and hopefully to keep his race win hopes alive, it will be soon to get him back on the way with those new tires that every driver loves to have. Cash Cope going to be right now in 9th with Alexander Balderas rounding out that top 10, and for Balderas, it looks like the up and down night starting to see a bit more of the bright side here. Only 10 seconds away from Chase Schaefer, your leader, so it does not look like he's gained every spot right now based on that tire strategy. He might be able to hold a few of them when we get back to the overall recycled field, but it could be Balderas making a few more spots up now. Alexander Balderas drops down to the bottom side on Cash Cope, goes down low, number 1 machine up high, and it looks like that is a good pass for Balderas. Gets into the single digits, just like that, Balderas up to 9th. Beating and banging just a bit more, but it looks like nothing's going to come up for now. Cash Cope, Alexander Balderas rubbing some fenders, 77 laps in. No trouble to this point, and Balderas gets the pass as Chase Schaefer will lead him down yet again. But take a look now at how close Sean Conklin is. River Page has faded back in a 4th, gets outside of the top 3. Number 24 machine now going to find himself outside looking in. He's going to see whether or not these guys rough it up a bit more because Conklin is known for his aggressive driving when he needs to get something done, he'll push for it no matter what. Doesn't matter what's going on around him. He will go for that pass, make that position up, and fight until the very end. 78 laps in for Chase Schaefer so far, and as always, lap 79 will be 22 laps to go, so we'll crank it up uninterrupted with the best camera provider on the iRacing platform. TrackCams22.com provides high-quality iRacing track and car camera packs, over 100 tracks and cars for you to combine for all your broadcasting or photography needs here on the sim. TrackCams22.com presents our 22 to go. Crank it up here in the River Page is so cool and awesome 150. And with 17 laps to go, as you just saw, Chase Schaefer comes down to pit road, makes his final stop of the day. Big move now in terms of strategy, giving Sean Conklin the lead with only 17 laps left. This could be the game-changing move as Schaefer comes down to pit road. Sean Conklin now knows he's going to have to come down to pit road eventually, seeing Schaefer come down in on the same strategy. James Thurston now going to be back in second. River Page going to be holding his own in third, and this is the time for Conklin to come to pit road. Here and now, the 54 looking for a second win of the row and 3 wins on the season, makes it down to pit road immediately after the number 99. This will give James Thurston the lead instead. New race leader once again. Thurston's back in front and now has himself in the top spot with a total of 16 laps remaining. Alex Anderson going to be holding his own in the third spot. It looks like a podium run. It is still an outside chance for Anderson, running very good so far, and he finds himself firmly inside the top 5 even before our cycle was going. Now only 5 seconds off your leading drivers, and while that might sound like a lot more than average in the intermediate, that's how good those such as Page, Thurston, Schaefer, and Conklin have been at separating themselves as the best of the best. 15 laps to go this time by. Taking a look now at Alex Anderson going up high to let another driver through. Michael Cormetis is going to be on new tires, and he is rapid. He is as quick as it gets. And it looks like now for that Coca-Cola Chevy, he's going to find himself in the 18th spot, putting himself in a nice spot to keep on going until the job is done, waiting for the field to, of course, cycle out. So he should be effectively inside the top 10 when all is said and done. James Thurston opts to keep himself on the track, now chasing down Joe Armstrong, the lap machine. 14 to go, and we're still waiting on some final pit stops to seal the deal here in Kansas. So it looks like so far Thurston has chosen to keep it out as long as he can. River Page is going to be with the same mentality. Alex Anderson, their third, also going to be making those same moves, and the 67 machine keeps himself there, position number 3. Top 3 still going to be held with Alex Anderson in mind. Third place so far so good, but he's got to wait until the final pit stops to truly find out whether or not he'll stay there, or if he's going to fall back a bit further. Coming through this time by 13 laps to go, making a dozen, 12 laps to do when James Thurston comes around yet again. Looking very good to go all the way tonight. James Thurston has been one of the best drivers so far on the season, but he just has not gotten it done for the win. And if he can cycle out with strategy correctly, his adversaries and opponents, they make that undercut. Now he's going to run long and hope that getting a bit of a shorter pit stop is enough to make it happen. Coming through this time by Thurston will make it only 12 laps to go indeed. River Page is there in second, but take a look at what we just saw in the middle of your current top 2 drivers. Shea Schaefer, like a rocket, gets right by, and just like that, the number 99 is now back within the lead lap. Schaefer, that's a huge deal for him, because now he's going to be on the lead lap before the driver, the number 4, comes down to pit road. So he's already there, will not need to get unlapped. He can go fight with the drivers ahead of him just like that. This is huge, and with all that it's in mind in terms of this strategy, he'll have to wait for everyone else to come in. But now Schaefer's got himself a shot to go till the very end of the race. 11 laps to go. That's going to be a huge clearance of the lead for James Thurston. He does not want to lose another spot, because look at who's coming by now. Sean Conklin's going to freight train through and put himself in the same spot. Number 54 for Ryko Performance makes it around, and it's going to be Sean Conklin taking it through. Another spot being lost by James Thurston, and while he is still effectively in first, it's not good at all to give those positions away on the track in the heat of the moment. With such a small amount of time remaining, if you cannot pull it together with a perfect pit stop, I don't think we'll have much left on the night for a driver like Thurston or Page. They need to hold on for 10 more laps, and that's a very unlikely scenario unless they save fuel up perfectly. We'll find out here. 10 laps to go, and they're going to keep on going. Thurston, Page, Anderson in third. TJ Hanley's now in fourth, with John Smith in fifth, and Alexander Balderas position number 6. Some drivers trying to hold on until the very end of the going. We saw the longest run of the day seem to be in about the 45 lap range, which is exactly what these drivers are going for. 45, 46 laps. That is the overall maximum pit run we can see. A stint should run up to about 45 laps, and with the drivers fixing themselves to go for the final few, I think in this race they're going to try to make it happen, to stretch the fuel. That's the most important for a guy like Thurston. If he wants any opportunity to win, stretch that mileage, and that's what he's done so far. No retirees on the day to this point. 23 drivers, every single one of which is still racing, and they've all kept it going with minimal incidents on the night. That's great to hear, because these drivers have cleaned up their act big time from last season, giving us strong, fundamental racing, the likes of which we have not been able to see all too much in last season. Season 2 is lacking it in some aspects, but now it looks like everything's coming together for a complete race. Strategy still hangs in the balance of a huge pit road race. And as they come through this time by, it's going to be driver of that number 24. Real Page dropping down low. Alex Anderson up high, second and third with 7 laps to go. Now they're fighting for second. James Thurston going to lead the way up in front. That number 4 machine, Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, still out on the track. He's still up on top, 7 laps to go. That Ford Mustang for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, it looks like he's been able to make it all happen and stretch it till the job is done. As close as it gets right now, there's still a chance he has to come in for an emergency, so he knows that stretching is the most important factor. Last time by, 32.863 for James Thurston. Best lap overall at 31.275, so he still has a ways to go. He is much slower than he used to be, but either way, 95 laps in, he might be able to hold on until the job is over as River Page now gives up second Alex Anderson. Big move for Alex Anderson, and just like that, he's in the runner-up position with 5 seconds to claw back. He is about as quick as Thurston, so I don't think he'll have that opportunity to run those laps back, but James Thurston knows now it's not Alex Anderson that's the worry, it's a driver like Schaefer or like Sean Conklin. If he has to cycle through and makes a mistake with that from fuel saving, tire saving, what have you, he'll have to come in. He has not yet made that mistake, and with the home stretch in mind, now Thurston looks to be good to go till the end, just as to keep on clicking off those laps. John Smith now going to be fighting with TJ Hanley. They're 4th and 5th. Number 08 machine, number 48 right there too. And if they all come around, 4 laps to go down into 3, it's going to be a huge night if James Thurston can pull this one off. Your defending champion has not yet gotten a win. Sean Conklin and Chase Schaefer look to be poised to go for it, but they ran their equipment hot, and that led them down to pit road again. River Page looked to be one of the guys poised to fight up in front, but it looks like now he's in a bit more trouble in terms of gaining those spots and gaining that time. He's now in 3rd and lost a spot to Alex Anderson. Now it's such a small amount of laps remaining. I don't think there's much else. It looks like Amy Schaefer Pope's going to be in the chat now for Michael Deitch, and Deitch finds himself 1 lap down in 19th, trying to put himself back in the lead lap. Was fighting inside the top 10 early in the race, but looks like pit strategy might have caught him out on the day, and that's been the big trouble for Deitch, as it looks like a few drivers have still not cycled through, which would be make or break for his campaign. 3 laps to go. Coming down to 2, Thurston leads them, and now has only 3 miles remaining to get the job done in Kansas. As they come through this time by, it's going to be James Thurston down the American Ethanol back straightaway, holding his own with 2 laps to go. He's done a great job so far in managing this race lap after a lap after a lap, and it looks like the fuel strategy is what he managed the best. So come around to the white flag this time by and only make it a total of 1 lap to go. River Page in the 24 finds himself in 3rd. Alex Anderson is there in 2nd, but for now there's no contest. James Thurston looks to be poised to go to victory lane as long as he holds off just a bit longer. Thurston, who the last win came a season ago with the season finale in Homestead, knows that if he wants to get another chance to become a back-to-back champion, a victory needs to come sooner than later. And as he comes through this time by out of corner number 4, the checkered flag will fall in the River Page's So Cool and Awesome 150. James Thurston, your season 3 champion, is back on top. Thurston will win a fuel strategy race, and just like that, Thurston, checkered flag ahead of Alex Anderson and River Page in your top 3. James Thurston gets it done, set to burn down the house. And this is a big night for this number 4 team, getting back into victory lane after some time away, time he desperately wanted to avoid off of the victory steps. Of course, top step of the podium where every driver wants to be in. For James Thurston, he knows he's one of those drivers who can absolutely fight for it no matter what track it is, no matter what race it is. As we turn around our drone camera to see the burnout begin, there James Thurston is celebrating the victory here in Kansas. And Thurston bringing it backwards to the grass is still looping around in reverse as we fall in with our drone shot here. Thurston not doing the conventional burnout because it looks like he likes to do things different, and when he does stuff different, it usually works very, very well. James Thurston gets it done. Balderas going to slam into him, and just like that, Balderas going to run away from your race winner and leave him to the business of burning it down. Kenny Reel, the power smashing 50-speed teammate of James Thurston, also there at the same time. As they all come through to the start-finish line, time for a multi-car burnout. Number 11, number 4, and it looks like one more with the number 95 as they begin to tear it up again. Kenny Reel already getting the smoke going, and so is James Thurston. And James Thurston opting to end the celebration early. Either way, victory his, as his teammate opts to burn it down for him. Kenny Reel celebrating James Thurston's race win, and the checkered flag will fall here in Kansas. How about this race here, as still drivers are on the track? Balderas making it into pit road, and we'll give you your official race results on the night. How about it here from Kansas Speedway? This has been the River Page is So Cool and Awesome 150. James Thurston wins from Alex Anderson in second, and River Page then in position number 3. Going to be John Smith fourth and TJ Hanley in fifth, with Joseph Armstrong position number 6, 7th in Alexander Balderas, 8th in Chase Schaefer, 9th in Sean Conklin, and 10th in Jackson Carr. Then from there, you're going to see it's going to be 11th with Nathan Palawada, then Michael Cormenis 12th. Kenny Reel 13th, and Sean Rowe position number 14. Will Shack going to find himself then in 15th, and 16th is going to be occupied by Corey Lyles. One lap down is going to be 17th, Cash Cole. Michael Deitch is 18th, Vincent Guecci's 19th, and Henry Califf is 20th, with the final drivers in the field being Daniel Mosteller, C.D. Mangrum, and Braxton Whitaker. 23 drivers, and just like that, Balderas, one of the few still on the track. But we'd like to talk to our top 3 here as they come down to pit road to finish off the night. It is one to remember for James Thurston and your defending season champion coming back to checkered flag here in Tornado Alley. James Thurston getting it done on the number 4 machine. It is victory lane for the first time in season 4, and tonight the fuel strategy and all the strategy paid off nicely for the checkered flag. First time this season, and you get it done. The River Page is So Cool and Awesome 150. How you feeling after this one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty surprised that strategy worked out. If I had started saving a lap later, I don't think I would have made it, or at least I would have been sputtering. But just yeah, I think that's probably one of the best IORA races we've had in a long time. That was a really fun, good race. But yeah, I mean, that fuel strategy worked out. I mean, that was pretty crazy.
And it looks like the strategy playing out very well. Lap to lap, you saw guys like Chase Schaefer, Sean Conklin giving you a lot of trouble up there, fighting for the lead in the same amount of aggression and a lot of battling all throughout. That was the big thing we saw, but you kept your head cool and focused on the long run, which is the big difference. So how was it putting your focus all on the final lap, knowing that we had a lot of green flag racing tonight?
Well, I mean, it kind of started early in that run, just because, like, they were battling so hard up there for the lead. They all thought that we'd get a caution, so everyone was fighting for the lead. And then I just saw that there were so many cars that didn't take tires that there was a really big gap growing behind me. So I just started saving before everyone else did, and it just kind of ended up paying off. And I mean, it was. I kind of got a little bit scared seeing those guys pit, just to, because they might have caught me, but they obviously didn't even come close. They think that Joe was the closest one, and he was still like just under half a lap behind me at the finish. But just yeah, thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, and thanks to the sponsor of the race, River Page and River Page's mom. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, well, hopefully we can come back next week and get it done.
And hoping to keep that victory momentum going after a strong race here in Kansas. Looking at what's next up on the schedule, going back to the intermediates here, but after tonight here in Kansas, we got ourselves, of course, race number 5 of the season, which will bring us, as we bring up our schedule here and now, finding out after Kansas Speedway, 150 miles, we'll be heading on to what looks to be Watkins Glen, 35 laps of the road course, and we've seen you run good there before. How do you feel heading into what will be the twists and turns of upstate New York?
I'm pretty excited for that one. We're usually really fast at Watkins Glen, so yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm still amazed that the strategy worked, man. Just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports for the fast car as always, and thanks for broadcast. And I hope that race was as good on the broadcast as it was in the car.
And there we have it. James Thurston pulls it through with a very clean race here in the IORA Cup Series, winning from Tornado Alley here in Kansas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now, James Thurston back on the move. It's going to be Thurston winning from Alex Anderson. And for a return race, Alex Anderson was on fire tonight and pulled off some great strategy to get it done. Didn't lead a lap, but you made it work with a lot of finesse till the end. Second place for this number 67 team. How do you feel after tonight's racing?
Pretty pissed, if I'm honest. I don't know. Something about that just rubs me the complete wrong way. Like, I do everything correct that I need to do, and magically Thurston has just enough fuel to run out at the line. I don't know. I don't get it, but it was a solid race, I guess. Couldn't really have gone better for my return. I just, I hate getting second. It's the worst feeling in the world. I'd rather finish third. Like, of all the places on a racetrack the spot that I hate getting is second.
It's certainly unfortunate to get a second place here, but you had to fight through a lot of adversity to get up to the podium. The lowest of 16th place, you were carving through the field up and down on the night. So how was it working with that in mind with so many long green flag runs?
I don't know, man. Well, we had that first lap yellow, and I was like, all right, well. Then restart happened, and as I do, I quickly burned my stuff up and slowly fell down. But then I realized, well, hey, if we're gonna go green to the end, I might as well make it an even stop. So came in lap 33, maybe 4 or 5 laps ahead of the leaders. Got pretty much slotted right into fifth, and then Mikey got around me just before the second yellow. Then a bunch of people stayed out. I went into the pits, got tires, and then we went. This is completely on me, but I went 3 wide. I think it was either Thurston or River on my outside, and then Joe on my inside, and I just kind of got loose off too. And I saved it, but I fell back to like 18th or something. And I was like, well, I'm in this for the long haul. I might as well see if I can make it on fuel. And sure enough, I barely had enough to get to the end.
Able to hold on to get to the finish here in Anderson with a great return race in mind. Watkins Glen up next. A tricky road course for the field, and we haven't seen one this season yet, so do we expect to see you there fighting up in front again?
I'll be there, but I'm sure as hell not going to be up front. I like road courses and stock cars. It's just like I'll put in a lap that literally perfect. If I put in any more throttle to try and get a better exit, it'll spin. If I brake any later, it'll spin, and then somehow somebody's still a second and a half faster. So I don't know, but yeah, I'll be there. Just not gonna be up front.
And looking to be back in the field here in the IORA Cup Series, it is Alex Anderson's second of the day. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't even know. Good race, I guess.
There we
Maybe
have it.
second.
Alex Anderson, second of the day, number 67 machine, back on the move. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
With Alex Anderson on the move, only one more driver on the day here in the podium. Your namesake driver in the River Page is so cool and awesome. 150. It is, well, River Page. 44 laps led on the day, finishing in third at the end of it all. And the podium finish you get third place here in your sponsored event. How do you feel after this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just I didn't think it would be saving because we needed to save.
I think we lost the mic there, River. River Page cutting in and out of his interview there, so we're going to try to see whether or not we got some signal on him. Some trouble for the 24 machine. River Page, still third. You got a copy?
Oh, sorry. I see. Oh my god. There. Hello? There we go.
We got you better now. There we have it. So what was going on you would like to mention to us?
Sorry, I was saving the replay. It kills my computer. Well, I just didn't think that Thurston would be saving fuel, and so, like, he just blew by me, and, I didn't think he was saving, but he was just turning the motor off, and it was doing a lot more than me and Alex were just coasting in. Alex were just clutching it in the corner, but, yeah, it was fun. I'm just glad that went green and we got a finish like that. It was really fun. That was gonna be good. We almost had it at Michigan last year, and then Mark Allen Bivens took out someone, and then we got a caution for that. But it was good to see it play out here. It was really fun. The different strategies and stuff. It's exactly why the league is set up this way with fuel and tires, and it's nice to see it actually play out because it was really fun.
And we've been hoping to get these strategy races, less fuel in the tank, 65% capacity. And tonight, it pays off very well. Everything played out with long green flag strategy that we love to see. How was it for you managing what looks to be one of the cleanest races this league has ever had?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first run was easy to manage because this dirty air is so bad. I could just park it on the top whenever someone was trying to pass me. I mean, Chase drove it super deep one time, and I slowed down I got on the brakes super hard to just hold my line, and he just went into the wall. So like, the first run was easy, and then the second run, before the caution, obviously, I was through the field with the people that pit earlier and later in the lap cars and stuff. It was I guess easy to manage, but the last run was just kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't know if I was going to make it, and everyone in front of me pit except for James. So I don't know. I didn't think it was the right decision, but I guess obviously it was.
And a risky call pays off to get here in the third place in Kansas and off next to Watkins Glen for a road course showdown. 35 laps there. How's going to be working with the road courses here tonight?
Well, I think I'm excited. Normally I'm pretty good with this combo. Like whenever it's in like NR or different league, I finish pretty well, but I think I'm the points leader now, which makes me a little bit more confident. If I just look at the standings real fast, I think I have the points lead by like 9 points, so I think there's a little bit of leeway, but I think it'll be a good race. Just hopefully it doesn't go as bad as last year where I got killed with like a quarter way through the race. Just I like to finish.
And hoping to keep it up front and keep it till the checkered flag on the way. River Page racing tonight, and we'll see you in the Highline Racing League at 9:35 Eastern here in FTN. And before we go and give you a bit of a break, anything else you'd like to add?
Just thanks to everyone on my car, Spoke Sciences, and my mom, who's on my car now, and gotta thank River Page for sponsoring this race, and you for doing the broadcast as per usual, and just everyone who kept it shockingly clean after the first wreck.
And there we have it. It's going to be River Page rounding out the top three, 44 laps led. And the River Page is so cool and awesome, 150. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And with River Page on the move, number 24 machine can get on his way to broadcast the Highline Racing League tonight. I'll be with the NASCAR team as we still have 2 more broadcasts to go on the day. A fantastic race here in the IORA Cup Series. It's what we love to see. River Page third, Alex Anderson second, and the winner is James Thurston and that number 4. Great show overall once again from this team at IORA, putting it all together, and a checkered flag will fall for your defending champion on the tour. Season 3 champ James Thurston gets it done for the first time this season in Kansas, and we'd like to thank you all for watching live on FTN. I've got to bounce to our next show, but I've been David Kreutz, hosting all the action, commentating, and producing here in the IORA Cup Series. And we'll have you, of course, once again next Thursday night on the Watkins Glen International Circuit for 35 laps of racing, and we hope to see you all there for another exciting showcase here in the IORA Cup Series. We got a Highline Racing League and the Road to Pro Tour coming up immediately after this, so stick around as we're going to be concluding tonight's broadcast. Thank you all for watching here in FTN. From our studios here at home, we hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation live on FTN. And if you did, be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Thank you all for watching once again, and we hope that you all have a great night. Stick around on this link and we'll automatically redirect you to the NASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series finale from the Homestead Miami Speedway.